Hi everyone, this is Liz with 143 Handmade, and I am here today to do a Threaded Thursday with you. And it just so happens that this one's also a Stamp and Stitch. Yeah, Stamp and Stitch, inspired by Susan Hiles over at Susan Hiles Art, and I will do my best to link her below. So this is the piece I have going so far, and it's just a scroll, and I just kind of put some, what kind of looked like ground, down at the bottom. I did a little bit of beadwork, and then the further along you get, the less finished it is. Like this is only kind of tacked down because I wanted to do beadwork along here and along here. But so, and what I've decided to do with my scroll here is wrap this with some felt, so that way it'll kind of help hold it, as you're wrapping it, because this is really slippery. So, but what we're going to do is I'm just going to pick a spot on here, scooch these aside, and I'm going to pull out my stamps, and I'm going to kind of just decide where I want to put a few things, and then I'm going to stamp it, and then I'm going to go back and stitch it. And I have all these little bits to add as well. I'm not sure how much actual stitching on camera I will do. I think this one might be one more that I just do more of like updates on, as opposed to, and kind of chit-chat about it, as opposed to actually working on it on camera. I really love this stamp here. It kind of reminds me of the Tree of Life. I know it's not the Tree of Life because it doesn't have the roots by a lot of people's standards, but it's the closest I've got, and it's pretty. And let's see, let's go ahead and put this guy right here. And I was thinking with this one I could even extend the stem, or the trunk with embroidery. I could extend that all the way down, because this is just to kind of give me, some place to stitch, some lines to stitch on. If you're not comfortable with freehand, I think this is a great freehand embroidery. I think this is a great way to, utilize some of your stamps that you may have for, scrapbooking and things, but you also want to use them for, other stuff. And maybe you're trying to get into slow stitching, but maybe you're a little bit cautious, and so, doing it this way gives you that little bit of pattern to follow without, while still without limiting your creativity. That's what I'm trying to spit out, because see, I decide where these stamps are going to go, that sort of thing, as opposed to an embroidery kit where it's all, pre-stamped. They've decided what the design is. With this, you do. It's up to you where everything goes. Do I want straight up and down, or a little bit cockeyed? Yeah, I'm gonna kind of do like this whole like bushy area of these guys. Yeah, I like that. And then what I'll do is I'll use this same set of beads. I will add those to all the little spots. And then, let's see, there's another area of that same base. So I'm going to go ahead and add these in, as if these are just some sort of like fern or something, And because the way I overlapped it and everything, I'm obviously not going to be able to stitch on every single line exactly, and that's okay. And I pulled out a bunch of beads and things that I want to use as well. But let's see, I think I left those. Yep, unfortunately I left those in the other room, because I do work on stuff, not at my desk. I think most of us crafters do, but especially I work on a lot in my bed. It's one of my comfiest places to sit, and so that's what I do. Let's see, I think I like the idea of putting this guy right here, and a bunch of different back and forths, but instead of black, I'm going to switch over here to the green, because I'm not sure I will do a lot of additional stitching on this one. We'll see. But yeah, just something like that. So it just looks like bushy. I think it's actually supposed to be like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree kind of a thing. But I thought used like this, it kind of looks more like, you know, like I said, bushes, grass or something. Yeah. Okay. And then what, let's see, I was also thinking I have a bunch of butterfly stamps, and I'd really like the idea of using these more as just a guideline and doing the like painted thing where I don't worry about following these interior lines, just using it more for the exterior line. And, you know, really blending my threads, because I have done that a little bit in the past, but it's all been on a pattern, you know, where it's told me exactly which threads to use where and all of that. And so and I always intended to go back and do more, but, you know, kids and other responsibilities came in the way. But now's my time. Now's my time. I get to play. So, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy right here. Yeah, and see, because it's real light, as I go over it, you know, that'll just disappear, or your eye will just see it as shadowing. And that's just fine. And let's see, right here, I was thinking I really don't care for how this gingham pops out on this particular project. Now, I really like gingham, and I use it in a lot of different things, especially like kids, you know, the younger kids, babies, you know, early elementary school, that age group. But I just don't care for it on this one. So I have this extra piece of this leaf fabric, and I really just like tatted up the ends, you know, and I kind of stretched it and everything else. And now I'm going to spin it, or not spin it, but I'm going to roll it like so. And kind of fold that so that way that green gets on the outside. There we go. And see, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to couch it kind of over the top of that to disguise it. I'm not sure if I'm going to double it over like that, or if I'm just going to cut it shorter or what. But then I was thinking I could take one of these, you know, these flower heads and put that on top, you know, and just various things like that. So, and this is just a pretty scroll for me to play with my beading, practice my thread painting. You know, I'm definitely not an expert, but I have been doing kits since, you know, early elementary school. As soon as I could read a pattern, I was doing kits. And, you know, sewing buttons before that. But at the same time, you know, the kits are not the same as the freeform, and I'm really just getting into the freeform stitching. And I gotta say thank you to Susan Hiles over at Susan Hiles Art. She has really inspired me with the slow stitching to really, you know, re-embrace this, and be messy and just have fun. And it doesn't matter that, you know, I'm not creating a gift. I'm not creating, you know, something to sell. I'm not creating, you know, anything like that. I'm just creating to practice my skills. I'm creating because it's fun, and it's something, you know, that for me. And that was a really good reminder. And it's something that all of us artists need to remember on sometimes, is that, you know, sometimes it's good to just play. So, I will be working on this on my Threaded Thursdays from now until I get it finished, and I will see you here again next week. Thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've hung out this long, you know you want to see more. I can't tell you how much I appreciate every minute we spend together. Thank you.